on Thursday.
Woo!
Hey, folks, Breakaway Homesteader here. I'm Patrick.
I'm Megan.
And we are tired.
Yes.
It's been a long week. This week has been super long.
This week has been like a year and a half long.
Ready. See that right there? Straight from the jug.
He was like, we do have things like glasses. And I thought he was talking about my reading glasses. They're my glasses. And I was like, yeah, they're on my face. And then I realized he meant my jug. And I was like, nope, they're getting the real me.
Yeah.
On Thursdays. Yeah. So this is now Struggle Thursday.
The struggle is real.
Struggle is very real.
The struggle is real.
So we bailed on Tuesday.
Bailed on Tuesday because, well, storms and because...
It had been a really long day. So life. Emotionally taxing.
I'm literally going to drink. I'm not going to show the label, but I'm going to drink on the live show tonight.
So, May... Shut up. Tuesday we had May. We had Huxley's first psychologist appointment. So that it went really well. We
great.
Both really liked the psychologist.
Yeah.
But it was still very emotionally draining, just the process of it and everything. We were there for over an hour talking with her, setting things up. He goes back in November to actually do the testing. She's also going to do an IQ test on him, which blew our minds because we didn't think you could do an IQ test on a child like that. And apparently you can go as young as 6 months if you're specially trained in it, which I don't understand because
that's crazy.
They're pooping themselves and gurgling at 6 months. So, but whatever. The one she can administer, that she is specially trained in, 2.5 and up. And so that is the one that he'll be getting. And she's also going to do a personality test as long as I guess there's 3 steps or 3 levels for the autism testing. So she will be doing a comprehensive, like full on all 3 levels for him. So the testing should take about 2 hours, probably a little longer than that. And then Pat and I will go back without Huxley to go over the results of the testing and get the definitive.
Y'all, we left with a packet of paperwork.
There's like no crap like this thick. Yeah. Like we have paperwork to fill out. We have to. His teacher, like his new teacher, will have to fill it out, and then his teacher from the past 2 years is going to have to fill it out. And it is probably like 30 pages a packet. Like it is no joke. And so it'll be interesting. I am intrigued because she also talked about some of the things that we'll go over when Pat and I go back will be things for the future, which involve like the personality test and the IQ test as well.
What we can expect
from him like
as he grows.
As he grows, as he matures, as he learns to live with himself pretty much. So that when we start to see certain things in his future as he gets older, we know how to address them. We can be prepared for them. So it was very interesting. It was very informative. She was wonderful. I think it'll be good. Huxley did really well. So we have high hopes for it. And if nothing else, we'll get an answer one way or the other.
Right. So the first step has been taken.
Yeah. And so we go back in November for that. So it's more just hurry up and wait, which has been like this whole process.
Mm-hmm.
But also once we get those answers and everything, then we can start actually getting him some serious therapy through his pediatrician's mental health department, where he sees the psychiatrist who diagnosed him with the ADHD and everything else. So, but we can't move ahead there until we get an answer. I'm filling people in.
I get it, but like...
Okay, apparently Mr. Impatient wants to move on. It's like
you're going through a maze.
You are going to get slapped tonight, because...
I'm apparently short today.
He has been a douche.
In a bad mood.
All day.
All day. It's just all me. It's all me.
Today, yes. I will own if I'm being a B word.
A B word?
And I have not been being a B word today. Okay?
It's just this week, honey.
Okay. Douche. It's been a very, very long week.
No, we've been shorting each other all week.
We just haven't dealt with each other all week.
Yeah.
Which is
dealing
also
with the kid and all that. Is,
nice. I'm gonna check out. No,
we have a clear pool now. It's about.
We do have a
good.
clear pool, so
Right.
no more algae. So that's good. We're looking at generators for the trailer.
Yep.
So when we go to Big Bear, we're good to go.
Yep.
We booked our camping spot for the HOA conference.
For the Homesteaders of America conference in Front Royal,
Virginia in October. So we're excited about that.
So if you want to meet us, we're going to be there.
Yes.
We're going to have a booth, and nobody's going to know.
No, we're not.
Why not? Look.
We are not going to have a booth. No. We will be there. You can meet us. We look like each other, so we'll be. You'll know who we are.
Let me tell you what happened.
We don't have anything to put in a booth.
Coffee. Let me tell you what happened. I'm serious. I'm serious. So here it is, day 2. Last year, first day was nice. It was 80 degrees. It was, it's October in Virginia. The trees are changing color, everything like that. Well, that night, this outrageous storm came through, and it dropped literally 30 degrees overnight. And it was like 50 degrees in the morning, and we're all hoarding into the HOA, and to find what? No coffee anywhere.
I don't drink coffee, so that does not bother me.
Anywhere. Or hot chocolate, or anything warm, and nobody brought their jackets. They're all, coffee, hot chocolate. We're gonna have a booth, like coffee, not chocolate. That's what we're gonna name it.
And it's gonna be like 100 degrees, and nobody's gonna get me coffee.
Right? Right.
So we booked our camping spot for that. So we're excited. We're gonna be taking the new camper. So we got that going on. What else?
Not a whole lot.
It wasn't all bad. Like, work has been stressful for both of us this week. Has just been redonkulous.
I don't know why it's so busy.
I think it's
I know why for
me,
because I work with the government, and the government tends to take a lot of 4-day weekends. And so nobody worked last Friday or Monday when I did. And so starting off on Tuesday, the work they didn't do Friday or Monday, they had to get done on Tuesday. And so my phone's getting blasted. And it's just now settling down from that.
Yep.
And you've been dealing with disease.
Yeah, that's not great. And I really don't want to talk about it.
Okay. All right. So, what are we talking about today?
Gray water. So this is a continuation of our one from last week. We're supposed to do this on Tuesday. Obviously did not.
So,
just whatever.
Make it small. Here we go. I got an inch. Okay. So last week we did a installment on rainwater and
catchment.
Rain catchment. Catching rain. Not like this. But yes, like that. And how simple it can be to save money by collecting your own rainwater. The legal ramifications of having rainwater, who can, who can't. And most likely you can. And what to do with that rainwater. And so I figured the best next installment would be to do gray water.
Boop.
And the picture says what it is. It's gray water. It's water going down the drain that you can reuse and repurpose, so you're not getting charged so much. You're not wasting it. So let's say, our old house, the meter was based upon how many gallons you took, because it automatically told you how many gallons you were putting down the drain. And so if you're going to be putting water down the drain, you might as well be reusing it if you can reuse it.
Like how we were on city water. So for every gallon that we took off of the city's system, they also charged us a sewage fee, in the assumption, however erroneously, that every gallon of water we took ended up in the sewers.
Right.
Like through toilet, shower, stuff like that. So even if we were watering our garden,
right,
we got charged with the sewage fees because that was the only way they were set up to
So the smart thing for us to do would have been to keep our gray water, even though we were being charged for it anyway, and use that in the garden.
But we didn't.
But we didn't. Graphic, I'll blow this one up. I'm just giving you a description of whatever. It's a graphic, folks. Graphic.
Toilet.
So this kind of goes over what we talked about last week. Typical household water use: toilets 29%, drinking and cooking at 3%, gardening 35%.
People need to up their water intake.
I know, right? Bath and shower 20%, laundry is 13%. And so that shows you right there the division of water. Another thing we talked about last week is how much more water is used in the making of things, agriculture, and how,
like actual products,
right? And how it takes 300 gallons to make a single cup of coffee, gallons of water to grow that plant into berries, to so on and so forth, and bam, it's coffee, 300 gallons, and clothing and stuff like that. Question is, what is gray water? Gray water systems are used to take water that has already been used from places like your laundry, your shower, your kitchen sink, and divert it to use for another purpose like watering your gardens or landscaping instead of flushing it down into the sewer.
Well, that's what a system is. Gray water.
Well,
is,
okay.
Gray water is water
All right.
that does not have fecal matter in it.
Yes.
But it can have, no, it's like, because I looked up the definition because I was trying to do some research.
I got the safety warning we're about to do, and it will go over that. So I'm going to put this
I like how you have the poo water on your face, and I have the clean water.
You're clean, and you just took a shower.
I did take a shower. I didn't put on deodorant, though.
So here's the breakdown. We got a little confused last week and talked about exactly what gray water was, and
no, that was you and potable water.
Potable water, yes.
That was
clean
you.
Water.
Do not put we in that.
Clean water could come from springs, wells, purified water, city water. Stop pointing at me. Gray water is used without toxic chemicals and or excrement. What she just said.
Poop.
Black water. Contaminated water with toxic chemicals and or excrement.
Poop.
Poop. Like she said there. So, and we are stopping at this point of the show to give you guys a disclosure that we are not experts in this matter, and that we are here.
We're not experts in anything.
We are here simply to give you an idea, put it in your head, and let you extrapolate from that idea.
Extrapolate. I like it.
You like it?
I like it. Continue.
Can you define what extrapolation is?
Yes, is when you collect data and come to your own conclusions beyond what has been presented to you.
Boom! Oh!
Don't test me on that.
You drink from your jug. Uh-huh. So, so you can extrapolate from that information and come up with your own conclusion. And, ideas and stuff like that to maybe just do something that you normally wouldn't do. That's what we're here for. So let's talk about a little bit about safety and gray water systems before we do anything else, and give you what the government says to do with your gray water if you do collect it. Food particles and other contaminants in gray water presents an attractive environment for bacteria and pathogens to thrive. The gray water becomes septic within days, if not utilized. Gray water should always be used within 24 hours of collection or dumped into the municipal sewer system or septic system. The pathogens are quickly neutralized when applied to soil, thus there is little danger when used in... What are you doing? I thought you were
Oh, no, I was adjusting the straps on my dress.
When used in subsurface irrigation systems. Gray water should never be sprayed over the top of vegetation using conventional irrigation spray heads for two reasons. One, the pathogens can become airborne and can make you sick. You can inhale them or consume them. That's the E. coli issue with a lot of lettuce and stuff like that. It comes from Mexico. It's because they poop directly on it, poop juice. And
well, I don't think they're dropping loads in the lettuce fields.
I'm pretty sure they are. Anyway, it is important to note, and I'm glad they put this in here, that despite our cautions of health risks of improper handling of gray water, there is no known case of any person becoming ill due to exposure to gray water irrigation.
There was a moth.
Okay. So that's the disclaimer there. Folks, use your heads. And there's going to be a division here. So it comes from your sinks, it comes from your showers, it comes from your laundry. And we'll go over the different examples of what you should and shouldn't use
Sorry, there's a moth.
when you're doing laundry or cleaning stuff in your sink. So back to the notes. So let's check our page real quick. Big Bear's in the house. Hello, all. Hey, Professor. Mama, how are you? Mama, Donna's here. Are you home yet? Yes, they're back. That's fantastic.
We don't pay attention to the chat.
Do we use our gray water for the garden? No.
We do not collect our gray water
system
at
yet,
this point.
But do we want to? Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely. Poop. Poop. Yep. Doc Ferris is here. Your cat's just fine. And rubber baby buggy bumpers.
What?
Rubber baby buggy bumpers. I don't know. It's what Jason from Big Bear Homestead said. So, yeah. So continuing on. Clean water, gray water, black water. And the reason why we got these ideas was because we did get the fifth wheel, and they have all three of these systems. We have a clean water tank, a gray water tank, and a black water tank, which is used for
poop.
So here's an example of a gray water system right here. You can see right here on the left, you got your washing machine that's connected to a gray water system that goes out to their sub-irrigation system for the trees in your yard, right? There's a T-valve on that drain for that. And there's a reason for that. There are going to be times that you're not going to want to put gray water in your gray water system. And that's, give you an example, say your kid throws up or you throw up in your bed or whatever or whatnot.
Or you have a kid that poos himself.
Or something like that. Or you take care of somebody that has issues soiling themselves or whatnot. And you have to wash that. You're not going to want to put that in your gray water system because you're putting
poop
in it and it's becoming black water instead of actual gray water. So you're contaminating your gray water system. So that's the point of the T-valve. Use that common sense. What else would be a good reason? So for me, I would cut out sink water altogether. Here's the reason why. When stuff gets put in our sink for washing, all the food that's left on it stays on it until it's washed. Or if you have a garbage disposal or anything like that in your system, you're not going to want those food particles in there because they're going to deteriorate quicker than anything else. And so.
See, I would edit that if you have some sort of filtration system for it.
There's filtration systems,
because
but it would just be easier. It would just be easier, and it would extend your gray water longer if you just used your laundry water and your shower water. But this also goes to the fact that if you pee in the shower, because I know you're out there, you can't use this system either. There's silence in the room. Rabbit bite.
I was pointing at you.
Don't point at me. Don't point at me.
That's why I was quiet. I was going to see if you noticed.
Okay.
I don't know why we're in handcuffs. Getting a little weird.
Let's talk real quick. How do gray systems work? The concept is simple in principle. It's simple in principle because you really got to think about what's going down the drain. You want to capture all the water from your sinks, showers, and other drains into one place called a surge tank. And we'll have a graphic up here in a minute about a surge tank, which is a fancy way of saying a tank that can take a lot of water at once, but slow the flow down so particles in the water can drop to the bottom or can be filtered out. So you use that water for irrigation. So, is the gray water system legal? So that's why I got handcuffs up there. Thought maybe you'd enjoy that.
Boo.
Our gray water system's legal. Depending on your city, county, state, you'll have different rules that govern the use of gray water systems. Building codes, zoning laws, and public health departments all come into play here. So develop a rough idea of what kind of gray water system you want to build. And then have a conversation with your local city hall or city water inspector. So you could do this under the radar, but it's not recommended. And I would have to say, if this is going to save so much water and it catches on, then maybe one day it may be required by law. It may be required that we collect rainwater. It may be required that we
I mean, I could see
recycle.
more of like as the population rises and the clean sources become
diminish.
less accessible, that would trigger it, not people wanting to be green on their own.
Yeah.
Like just real talk.
It's not going to happen in our lifetimes.
Probably not.
Doubt it. Cost of a water system, a gray water system, really all depends on how extravagant you want to make it. It can go anywhere from free to thousands and thousands of dollars if you want to be that efficient with your water. And some people have to be efficient with their water. People in Arizona, they collect their rainwater because they only get 15 inches a year. So they have to have that water source in order to be available. They're going to want to reuse that water source as much as they can before they finally let it go.
Yeah.
So this is a good type of system to have for people who are low on water. So best filtering options for your gray water system. We are just humming. So this is called a surge tank. We talked about this recently earlier. There's two types here.
As in like a minute and a half ago.
Exactly. So the first one is just the tank itself, and you can see there.
It keeps flying in my face.
Here's an idea. Kill it.
Well, I thought I did.
So this surge tank right here on the left is just a regular tank. Could be used. It could be a garbage can. It could be anything. Again, with the totes that we use here, be a good idea to use that. But you see the surge level on the right hand side. That little level indicator shows you exactly where the water level is at. But the outlet of the tank is offset. It's set 2 to 3 inches above the bottom, so when the water goes into it and the particles are inside the water, it can settle to the bottom, and eventually you'll clean that out.
Yeah, that's just something I was looking at. That like you would have to, even if you like bury it because you don't want just like a thing in your yard or whatever, like you have to make sure it's accessible to be able to clean that out. And I don't like that's gonna be gross.
Yeah. Well,
like part of me thinks it's gonna be gross, but then I'm like, it's gonna be like
hair,
shampoo and
hair,
laundry detergent,
hair,
and it's gonna be slimy.
All your hair.
There's a lot of hair.
Yeah, there's a lot of hair that goes down the drain. Anybody with ladies in the house can relate, or cats.
Hey, Charles.
Hi, Charles. Speaking of cats. So the next one is called a filter bag. It is another tank that has a fine mesh bag on it that collects all the stuff. So
like a cheeseclouthy type bag?
So think about your dryer. It's my stuff. Don't worry about it.
I'm not.
So you think about a dryer. You put clothes in the dryer. It's got cat hair on it. It's got other stuff on it, and it tumbles in the dryer. The vent has
another screen thing?
A screen on it. It does the same thing. It collects all the particles, all the hair, and so it doesn't go down the vent, which can cause a fire because light is very flammable. And so it goes through the cheesecloth, settles at the bottom. Again, that's still offset, so anything finer than the mesh that you use will still sit at the bottom of that tank.
But I kind of like that system more.
It's better. It's easier to clean.
I would say just maintenance overall. Stay cleaner.
Yeah. But you'd have to change it more often.
But how? I mean, are we talking like once a month or once a week, or do you know the answer to that question?
I guess it would be really depending on how much you actually
like what goes down your drains.
Gray water system. And so some cases people will put a basic filter to screen out particles like food or hair, mainly to prevent clogs in the rest of their system. Once the water is free of most of the large debris, you can then pipe it underground to where you want to deposit it. Making sure you spread out the volume of water over a large enough area to allow the soil to soak up the water quickly enough that it doesn't get waterlogged. And so you don't want to back up in the system. You don't want, if you have soil that's clay, and it doesn't leach very quickly, the water's going to back up into that pipe and stay stagnant, and that's when it becomes
A
nasty,
problem.
goopy, and it can clog your pipes, right? So you have filter options. Filter a bag before it enters into the surge tank. That's the bag right there on the right. Inline water filter. There are water filters out there that have very loose filtering material. Some people put it in give an example, a cheap version would be a clawfoot tub. Using that as your surge tank. And people would actually plant reeds and stuff like that, and would filter through the reeds as a surge tank. That's pretty cool, right? So a wetland or reed bed would be a great filter. Something to pull out the particles, and you can always
Let the water maintain.
You can always make a natural gravity filter as well with gravel, sand, charcoal.
Are you trying like the water filter type things?
Water filter type things.
I would just think like with that, you're gonna have to have a decent sized tank on the top of that because those do not. I mean, they are excellent filters, yes, but they do not filter fast.
Right. And give an example. What we use here on our homestead are the 330-gallon totes.
And by use, he means having sit in the yard.
Yeah, they sit in the yard. We have used them.
Yeah. Just not consistently.
Correct. Things you're going to use with gray water system. Now, you're not going to go to the store and buy your crazy high chemical stuff. You're not going to get your perm out, do your perm, and just dump it down in your gray water system. That's not going to be good for your plants. So you want to use natural products. So like this is castile soap.
Do people home perm anymore?
I have no idea. I don't know. When's the last time you permed?
I've never permed.
My
mom permed.
My mother permed, and
but I was
think
like
my
10.
sister did. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I don't know. I do not know. But using natural products like natural soaps, soap nuts for your laundry.
I actually use that.
Yeah, she does use this. But here's an example of a more sophisticated water system.
Oh, it puts it in the toilet.
So you can see here they're using the sink, and the sink has a tank at the bottom, and there's a water valve or a pump at the bottom of that tank that pushes it to the tank of the toilet, which we don't normally drink or use or anything like that.
So I do not normally drink toilet water. You are correct, sir.
I mean, you could in an emergency situation. It's still potable water. So this case, it would not be potable water because you're using the water you use to wash your hands, brush your teeth, do stuff like that. And it's going into a tank, which is going to be used in the back of your toilet tank to flush down the toilet. Now let's take a look at that tank in the back and show you how some people might say this is going to overflow. What's going on here? It doesn't matter. So let's take a look at the back of the tank. This is the tank in the back of your toilet. You look, there's a thing called a rod guide right there. The thing that's connected to the rod guide is called an overflow tube. So no matter how often you wash your hands, the pressure is going to naturally push water into your tank. It's going to recycle into your toilet. It's not going to overload your tank because that overflow tube is going to pull in the extra water and it's actually going to flush through your toilet system because of gravity. That's why.
Gotcha.
And so that's an easy way to do it. It's
I just like
great system. Something like that'd be expensive though, you know.
I feel like it would be, but like our bathrooms are not set up for that. Like the toilet in the master bathroom is like way far away from the sinks.
Yes.
And even the toilet in the smaller bathroom is across from the sinks.
Aha.
Aha.
How about this baby right here? Taking 5-gallon buckets, cutting off the drain at the bottom of the sink so you can transfer to your toilet tank. You don't have to do it. I'm just saying it doesn't cost a whole lot to do it.
I mean,
this is the bare essentials to gray water
system.
Recycling. And
I got it.
Now this is kitchen stuff, but of course I'm thinking.
But if you're going into your toilet, it doesn't. And if you're going to your turlet, who cares if it's got some food in it?
Exactly.
So I can see that.
Yeah.
That is, I'm sorry, but that is kind of ghetto fabulous.
I like it. I don't care. If we were having to go on an off-grid system, that is exactly how it's going to be when our septic system fills up, if it ever did. But they reuse that water, and they water their plants with it.
Or
give you another
in
look
their
right there.
toilet.
Whenever you take a shower, you have your spout at the bottom, always dripping water when you're taking a shower.
I mean, it's technically not supposed to. Ours just does.
No, it does. It doesn't,
Oh.
I cannot recall a place that never had a dripping faucet when you took a shower. That little bit of pressure always dripped out the bottom. Here, they're simply putting a bucket in front of that, and they're using that water as flush water. This is just flush water, folks. We're talking about watering plants and doing stuff like that. So I don't know what else I got here. Look at this guy. How cool is that? Now, this is not a gray water system. Well, technically it is. Here's the reason why. Water that goes in your toilet is potable. It's drinkable water. Perfectly fresh and clean. So why not, when you flush the toilet, it flushes the excrement down, and your tank fills up with water, right? So instead of filling the tank up, it shoots out water to the top into this little sink that you can wash your hands in. That is the smartest thing.
They also have urinals like that it uses. You wash your hands on the top, and that's what flushes your pee through the urinal.
I would love one of those.
You just want a urinal, period.
Period. When we update Huxley's bathroom, it's going to have a urinal. But be wary. That sink right there. Guess how much that cost?
$1,000.
No, $400.
For that?
For that. It's pretty crazy, right? So we are rocking it. So let me look at my notes. I don't know how much more I have left. Looking here. Honestly, that's pretty much it. That's all my notes.
I feel like gray water, it's
simple.
Yeah.
It's not. There's nothing difficult about this. Should be nothing difficult about collecting rainwater. Should be nothing difficult about collecting gray water.
I think
the setup is what you need to put your mind to.
Well, to me, it's not even that. It's being conscious of what goes down your drains, because okay, you're talking about not using crazy chemicals and stuff. Well, you gotta look at your shampoos with all the sulfates and stuff like that in it. Do you change all that? Do you go more natural? What I was doing there for a while with the making my own with the Castile soap and the vinegar and tea and stuff like that, which I loved and I really need to get back into. But do you switch everything over? Or if you're already doing stuff like that, then there's no concern. Right. Stuff like that. So I feel like to me, you can go as simple as cutting the things off and putting a bucket under it.
Right.
The system itself isn't necessarily that, but it's changing everything about. They ghetto fabulous.
Both of you scream out poop and Rob will pee yourself. Boop, boop, boop.
I really kind of want to show Robin the picture.
No, that's something special for them. Their eyes only.
And everybody else who's going to be there.
Yeah, that's fine. Anybody who goes visit, we're gonna put up. Yeah, okay. We're gonna leave a picture behind. Anybody who goes to visit Jason and Robin for the Big Bear Homestead has privy to take a look at it. They cannot duplicate, however.
I don't think they're gonna want to.
No, I don't think so either.
But yeah. So to me, the biggest concern is the biggest challenge is what you're putting down your drain. When we make our own laundry detergent already, and everything that's in there is okay for the plants. Yes.
Yes.
So that would be fine.
Yeah.
But Old Spice body wash.
It's probably not
the best.
You got them colors and all
so
that crazy
that
stuff.
To me is.
I mean, just because when you apply it, it goes doesn't mean it's good for your plants.
Terry Crews yells at you.
Oh!
So like that, I mean, that's my bigger concern.
Mm-hmm.
Is that?
Is that?
Yes.
Honestly, we're done. So we're gonna check over our comments and comment back on you guys, and we are actually gonna cut it off early tonight, which I'm not really not upset about. I'm tired.
You took a nap.
My ass. You took a nap.
I did.
I laid there for 15 minutes.
You were snoring.
And I was out. You're right. I took it. It's called a cat nap.
Oh, what is that second word? Nap.
Not a 2.5 hour sleep session.
Glorious sleep session. It was fantastic, but I also had to get up at like 4:30 this morning.
Yeah, she did get up at 4:30 this morning. Hard worker over here. So always Steve said they use things like that in Japan. You know, I was stationed in Japan for 4 years, and yeah, they're very thrifty people, and because there's so much of a population in such a small space, they did have to use everything they have over and over again.
See, I feel like we, as like a unit, like as a country, could learn.
They say you should get a bidet.
A bidet? Who said that?
Yeah.
Okay, so real talk Thursdays. When we were in Italy, both of our apartments, both the one off base and the one on base, had bidets. I like to use them as mop buckets, as shoe cleaners, like when your boots get dirty.
Mm-hmm.
I do not
magazine racks
because you need your reading material when you're on the pooper. Yeah. I do not care for the wet bottom feeling that a bidet presents you with.
I have no issues with it. Our old house actually had one. In my bathroom, I had a bidet.
Well, he had surgery on both of his wrists,
yes.
And I straight up told him that as much as I loved him and as strong as our marriage was, I was not going to wipe his ass. And so we actually found...
She would if she had to.
He likes to tell himself that. So we actually found it's an attachment that you can get for your regular toilet that you put like a little thing on where the water intake goes in, and you can actually turn it on. And this thing has some power.
It had some power.
He shot it across the room the first time he turned it on because he wasn't expecting it to actually like go for it. And it worked. So he doesn't mind it. I use them for everything but their intended purpose.
Yeah. When I was stationed in Japan, 2000, that's when I first got introduced to that because it was all the hoity-toity of the time. And our apartment did have one, and I started using them there. And once you get the idea in your head, the concept that you don't have to wipe with toilet paper, you're actually saving the planet a lot of paper. But again, if you're not that type of person, feel like you need to scrub yourself clean with paper.
I'm in that category. I just don't care for it. Like, and it's weird because I shower.
They don't grow up with it.
And I wash my bum.
If you don't grow up with it, you're not used to it. It's weird.
You didn't grow up with it.
No, but I got used to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have no problem washing my bum in the shower.
Yeah.
But after the toilet times, I just don't care for it. I don't know how to be delicate about this.
Yeah.
My dirty bum.
Laugh out loud. Our son used it as a urinal. Perfect.
I could see that.
I could see that too. You know, you're having a long night, like, two people in the bathroom at one time. Like,
I mean, as long as it was just a urinal, I don't see the problem. We also used ours as a dog watering bowl.
Yeah.
When we were in Italy,
we would stop it.
Yeah, because the one we had in Italy had a like a sink stopper in it, and so we would just put the stopper down and fill it up with water for Sam and use it as like a watering bowl. It was easy. Yeah. He didn't mind.
Nope, he didn't mind at all.
So we've done that. Charlie liked to sleep in it because it especially during the summer because it would be hot.
And it's porcelain.
It's porcelain, so they would. He was 7. At least he's peeing in a container.
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta be positive.
Hey, be positive. It looks like a toilet.
Yeah.
technically. So, yeah.
Hell, I'd be happy if Huxley peed in any container.
All right. You know?
You feisties. Oh, you can bite me. You can bite me. Ow!
Yeah, exactly. It's a cat.
She bit me.
So, that's pretty much it from us.
Yeah.
And so, Megan's going to come up with a topic for next Tuesday.
No. Megan came up with the rain catchment. Bullshit. I have the text to prove it.
Listen, you came
which
up
spawned the gray water.
with the idea. Who did the research?
I had notes in my head.
You didn't. You had nothing last week.
I did not.
Nothing.
Because I gave you everything and then you just put it together.
So
I don't know. It's your turn.
Folks, give us some ideas.
We struggle so hard.
No, not really. She's overreacting.
No,
we wing it a lot.
I am not disagreeing.
If you guys have any topics you want us to talk about, even if it is a little hairy, we hold nothing back as far as our topics go.
I mean, I just talked about cleaning my butt.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
so
we're down for whatever.
As long as it doesn't get too political to where YouTube goes, you can't do that. It hurts our feelings. We'll be happy to talk about it. You got the upcoming elections.
I don't want that.
I don't want to go political.
You just said we can't.
Yeah, homesteading stuff. How about that? Let's stick to the homesteading topic or survival topic or stuff like that.
We haven't really done a whole lot of survival lately.
We have not, and that's because Brad from Full Spectrum Survival has kind of spun off into his own direction to do the news watch and everything like that. We used to do a live show every Wednesday.
You guys
and we need to get back to that rhythm again. And maybe we'll pull some people back on the show and do some live streams with other people on our show to talk about topics like that. Because I'll tell you right now, if you haven't seen Brad from Full Spectrum Survival, go over to his channel right now, subscribe to him, and just keep an eye on the titles that he puts out there. Sometimes they're a little over the top and you think the world's going to end. It's really not. However, the information he puts out there is validated and it's true. It's something you won't hear on the news, but you'll hear from his channel. To give you an example, today he's talking about how the dollar is collapsing. Dow Jones plunged 800 points yesterday.
Did it really?
Yes, it did. I'm not sure what it did today, but the value of the dollar is going down, and he predicted that 3 months ago. 3 months ago. So keep an eye out on other people's stuff. Don't take their words for it. Make sure what they're talking about is true. All of our notes that we do on our channel come from validated sources. They're usually mostly government websites that put information out there that
nobody reads.
And the reason why they don't read it is because they don't put it out there publicly. Back in the day when we were kids, things would come up on the TV talking about, hey, it's Hurricane Awareness Week. You should go here, and look at all this stuff. They don't do that anymore. They still post it, but they don't do that anymore. So I'm Patrick.
And I'm Megan.
We're the Breakaway Homesteaders, and we will be back on Tuesday, I think.
I don't see why not.
Yeah. Next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with a new subject. Again, if you want to email us, it's breakawayhomesteader@gmail.com. And our actual mailing address, if you want to send something to us, is P.O. Box 736, VASS, VASS, North Carolina, 28394. And so we will see you next Tuesday. Until then.
You can't say that.
What?
See you next Tuesday.
Oh, it's my wife, ladies and gentlemen.
You can't say it like that.
See you next Tuesday.
That's horrible.
All right.
Bye, everyone.
Have a good one.